So usually, okay, so when it comes to link building, like me personally, I mean, I'm a big fan of saying test different link building because I don't think, and this is after being in quite a few different niches, I don't think that there's one link building tactic that works really, really well across every niche. Like if you're in the finance niche and you're trying to do guest blog posting, good luck. You better have a budget because they're going to ask you for hundreds of dollars every single guest post because that's finance and that's what they do in that. Mommy bloggers, same thing. Like some of them get really expensive with that. So like I'm a big fan of testing different types and really seeing. And when I say testing different types, like I don't mean reaching out to 10 or 15 people and seeing if it works. And then if it doesn't, saying, nope, it's no good, I'm out of here. I'm talking about reaching out to like maybe 200 to 300 total targets, trying a particular, link building tactic. And then if that doesn't work at that point, you have a decent data sample size, then saying, okay, that didn't work. Let me try this other one. Because usually in all niches, I feel like you can find one tactic that works better than most. In all niches, there's going to be one tactic that works better than most. But me personally, what do I do now at this point? And I've done a lot of different tactics, but I think at this point, what I really focus on, I do a lot of guest posting now because I think I found it, I've systematized it and made it kind of easy to be able, I have someone doing all the pre-outreach activities, the commenting on blogs, the replying to emails, that sort of thing, getting them warmed up, and then they kind of go in and pitch them. So I do that a lot. And then I also Haro, however you want to pronounce it, help a reporter out. That's one of the reasons why I've kept, if anyone's wondering, why do you still teach? One of the reasons I kept that is because I think when people hear professor, they immediately it garnishes, it just gains some respect immediately. Like it has like that title, Mm-hmm. So I do Haro because I can reach out to them and I'm a college professor. So, whoop-de-doo, it's a college professor. So I'm more inclined to get links. So that actually works relatively well for me. I've done that. But like what link building tactics have I done? I mean, anything that you're going to read about, I've probably done it. I don't do black hat stuff so much. I stay away from that. But like when it came to like, I don't know, just doing resource page link building. I've done that. I've done like blog commenting back in the day. I would never waste my time now, but back in the day I did that. I've done, and we've talked about this. This is like an advanced tactic of something that I did that worked really well on one website and I think actually hurt me on the other website, mm-hmm. is what I call database link building, going back to the word database, which apparently I just love that word. It was the idea of creating let's just say a directory of sorts on your website. So security guard training, I'm just going to use an example because we've been talking about it. Maybe saying, hey, I'm going to create a directory of all the security guard training schools. I don't even know if that's a thing. Security guard training schools across all 50 states. You create that directory and then you basically reach out to them and say, hey, you've been listed on my website. Would you be willing to link back to me? Like that type of outreach. That worked really well for me across 2 different websites. And one website still to this day ranks pretty well. The other website, this is like a cautionary tale. I did that super hard. I was getting an insane amount of links. I remember when we were talking about it, it was like, I'm talking 5 to 10 links a day. It was like crazy how well it was working. But Google kind of, I think at that point, it's kind of categorized that website as a directory. Because I think I went a little too big with that link building project and it actually hurt that website. And I put a lot of content on the website and it was a blow. And this wasn't that long ago. This was probably, a couple months, 3 months ago. So I still make mistakes. But at that time it hit me and I'm still trying to figure out how to finagle and make it like get fixed. But that was like a big thing that I did that I don't think anything was, or many other people were doing. And it was working really well, but use with caution. Like I don't know the right answer to that because it worked great on one website that was kind of smaller. I did it on another website that was supposed to be bigger, and I think it actually worked against me. So,
gotcha. Cool. And just a quick summary. So you would you've done a variety of stuff, but generally your go-to is like just guest posting, like standard, do some networking.
At this point, yeah, because the websites and the niches that I'm working on, guest posting is great in those particular niches. I'm going to give away one other one that I remember. I heard this on a podcast and it was a pretty interesting one. This is one of my secret ones that I'll tell everyone. So this is the juicy stuff. If you go to Flickr, right? One of the things when people are looking for images, usually they go to Flickr and they want to see a Creative Commons where it can be shared in the public domain. right? They want to do that. So this individual who was on, and I don't remember who this was. I would give him credit. This was not mine. I honestly cannot tell you who this was, but I thought it was pretty interesting. What he would do is he would actually take pictures himself, and then he would put them onto Flickr, tag them correctly and everything, and then say, yeah, you can use this, but make sure if you do that you give attribution to this particular website, right? That was his whole strategy. I did a variation of that to where I basically went out and I would never like take images from like Shutterstock and then just put them up there because that's totally illegal, copyright issues. But I would find ways to get content that was in the public domain that was technically free in other places, put it up onto Flickr and say, yes, you can use that, but you have to link back to my website. That I won't say that it worked like super well, but I did get some pretty high authority links from that because people were just looking for the images. So it worked, but it should never be a primary. But yeah, like nowadays I do mostly guest posting. Almost exclusively guest posting. I still do where I present my websites to people and I say, hey, this could be a helpful resource to your audience. What do you think? And like, that's not guest posting. That's kind of just like shotgun skyscraper, just kind of saying, hey, this is a thing. But yeah, for the most part, I still do guest posting. I think would probably be my number one at this point. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And quick note, I can't remember. I've heard of that strategy, and actually I use Flickr images as well, Creative Commons, of course. And I've gotten emails where people were like, hey, you didn't attribute this properly. You should link to the website or whatever, which, the thing is, like, you're right. Like, you will get some links, but I think the magic of that is like, you have to go back and do the reverse image lookup to find out who's using it. And then do the outreach. So
yeah, if you really wanted to go hard on it, yes, absolutely. With me, I literally, and like even now I'm building a website, I'm doing this and I'm getting like content that it's images, but it's not like I'm going out with a camera and taking really nice pictures. Like these are images that anybody can get, but I'm getting them in a way that's kind of creative. I'm putting them up there. I'm actually not doing that outreach and reverse image lookup and saying that. I'm just putting it up there and hoping. And so far with this one website, I haven't gotten any, but I did it with another website and I got some. But like, if you really wanted to go hard with it, yes, you'd probably want to do the reverse Google image search. But again, I don't know that that's like the best one out there, but it's like something to consider, like that's I don't think that there is one link tactic that's great for all websites at all times. I think like I run campaigns, I'm like, okay, let's do, for an example, let's do an infographic and create that. And then I'll reach to these 100 targets and then I'll move on to a different campaign. Okay, now let's try this. Okay, now let's try, and I'll keep trying until I find something that seems to work. And then I'll really try to hammer it. So.